Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm collaborating with Nats from Glowbynats here on YouTube. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you if I had to get rid of all my skincare, which 5 products I would choose to keep. It's kind of like desert island skincare. But before we get into my picks, I wanted to kind of point you in the direction of Nat's channel. She makes great beauty content, both makeup and skincare. She makes great skincare content, which I really love watching because she's very detail oriented and super honest. The makeup looks that she does are so beautiful. She does a lot of like editorial, trendy, creative makeup, colorful makeup, totally stuff that I'm into right now. So I actually had her record a little clip of her introducing herself so you can get to know her a little bit and get to know a sneak peek of the products that she is putting in her video.
Hi, all of Kaya's followers. I'm Nats and I do beauty content here on YouTube. My channel is a space where I try to take an as realistic but also fun approach to beauty. Realistic as in just trying to portray an as realistic picture as possible of how far skincare can take you. Pores are still skin, breakouts are still skin, texture is still skin, and yes, fun. As in fun makeup looks. I try to do trendy and colorful makeup because I just love that. I love products that make my skin glowy and even. So if you want to know what my 5 picks are, I think you should check out the description box below and click the link and go check out my video. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
So let's get into the products that I picked. If I only had to pick 5 products to keep for my entire skincare collection, it would be these 5. So the first product that I would choose to keep is the Visviva Urea 5% and Niacinamide 5% Rosewater Serum. So Visviva is an indie brand that I personally love. I've done sponsored content with them in the past. This is not a sponsored video, but I just love working with them because their formulations are just beautiful. They're so elegant, they're so effective, and they just feel so luxe and elevated. So the 2 star ingredients in here are urea and niacinamide. Now urea is a humectant in the same grouping as hyaluronic acid or glycerin. It's really hydrating, which obviously for my dry skin, I just love. This also contains niacinamide at 5%, and niacinamide is like truly one of my favorite ingredients of all time. It's a great antioxidant. It helps with hyperpigmentation. It helps with controlling sebum production. It just really is like the Swiss Army knife of skincare. It does a little bit of everything, which I think is just such a nice multitasking ingredient to include in a daily serum like this. I think what I like most about this serum is that it's not boring. And I think you'll see that with all the products that I'll talk about today, is that none of these products are like boring, clinical, just basic skincare products. They all feel very elevated. They all feel really elegant. They all have beautiful packaging. That's something really important to me. Is obviously I am, you know, a scientist. I have a degree in chemical engineering, but I want my skincare to be fun. I want it to be enjoyable. So with a serum like this, because it smells very faintly of roses, because it has a really beautiful kind of cooling liquidy serum texture, it absorbs super nicely with whatever I put on top of it. It doesn't pill or anything. This is just such a gorgeous serum. I have another bottle that I purchased myself. I purchased this one myself. I have bought probably 4 or 5 of these in the past couple years because I just love it that much. I do have a affiliate code with Visviva. It's Kaya10 and it'll get you 10% off. So sticking with the hydrating kind of category of products, the next product is a product that I discovered in 2020 and instantly fell in love with it. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA BHA Pore Tight Toner. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't see effects from the pore tightening kind of claim that this has. I have a dedicated BHA that I use to kind of address my pores, so I don't really look to this to control my pores. However, because this is formulated with polyhydroxy acid or gluconolactone, which is super hydrating, and it's also formulated with cactus water and other really beautiful kind of hydrating, soothing fruit extracts and humectants, this is just such a gorgeous product. It is more of like a viscous water. It's not just straight up water. It has like kind of a tacky, sticky feeling to it, which I really like. It doesn't feel sticky on the skin, but when you apply it, it feels more substantial than just your typical watery toner. Obviously, the packaging of all Glow Recipe products are just incredibly beautiful. I love having this one on display on my vanity because I think it's just so pretty, and pink is my favorite color. When I want my skin to look incredibly radiant the next next day, this is what I use at night. And this is always the first step in my nighttime skincare routine if I'm going to use it. So I'll do cleanser, and then I'll use a cotton pad to kind of press and roll this into my skin, and the results are just amazing. So I actually don't have any exfoliating acids in my routine aside from salicylic acid and this acid. So this is polyhydroxy acid, and PHAs are a larger molecular size than your typical alpha hydroxy acid, like lactic acid or glycolic acid. So as a result, they're less sensitizing, they're less intense, they're a lot more gentle. So if you have really sensitive skin and you kind of don't vibe well with glycolic acid or any of the AHAs, it might be worth checking out a polyhydroxy acid like this one, because the results are just a lot more gentle and it's a lot less intense and less irritating. Obviously, I have a sunscreen to talk about, and this was really hard because there are so many super cosmetically elegant sunscreens that I love. All of them are Asian for the most part, because I feel like Korean and Japanese sunscreens are really superior to American sunscreens because they have a lot more sophisticated UV filters that they use. So after much deliberation, the sunscreen that came out on top is Crave Beauty's Beach Shield. Now, I chose this one because of a number of reasons. So first of all, this is something I can wear year round. Yes, in the hot, sticky, humid summer months of Texas heat, this can get a little bit dewy on my skin, but in terms of just overall formulation and how well it works for my skin, this is just chef's kiss. It's amazing. I really do like the radiant finish that this has on my skin. It definitely feels like a milky serum texture. It doesn't feel like a chalky sunscreen at all. Because it's formulated with those more sophisticated UV filters, it doesn't leave a white cast at all, which honestly is so hard to come by. This is packed full of antioxidants, which I think is super important, because obviously your first line of defense against UV damage is just staying out of the sun, wearing a hat, wearing sunglasses, seeking shade. That's your first line of defense. That should be your priority. Your second priority is sunscreen, applying an adequate amount of sunscreen and reapplying it throughout the day. However, for anything that slips through the cracks and just to augment kind of the protection on your skin, antioxidants are it. So antioxidants are really great for kind of neutralizing free radical damage and quenching that free radical reaction from occurring. So free radical damage can arise from environmental stressors like UV rays or pollution or anything like that. So just having those antioxidants readily available, I think, is really great for daytime use and nighttime use. But with antioxidants, it's really like a daily vitamin. You're not going to see immediate overnight results from using antioxidants, but with continued use over time, you'll definitely reap the benefits. So far, I've talked about 2 hydrating serums / toners and then a sunscreen. I had to talk about some sort of like rich moisturizer because I love that kind of formulation on my dry skin. This was really hard, and I think what came out on top will not surprise you. This was a very close call. I was between a lot of different moisturizers, but truly the moisturizer that has impressed me the most is Stratia Liquid Gold. Now, I am in the process of finishing up this travel size, so I did repurchase a larger size for me to go through, but I'll quickly kind of sum up my feelings on this moisturizer. It is marketed as a moisturizer, but it's a little bit on the thinner side. So although I call it more rich in texture, I'm more referring to it being rich in texture for a serum. I'll show you the texture right now. It is kind of more thin, but it's definitely substantial. I definitely don't think that it's one of those gel moisturizers that just disappears off your skin and just leaves you feeling dry and parched. This definitely feels substantial. There are nights that I use this on its own, just as a moisturizer with nothing on top. This contains so many yummy ingredients. So the yellow color of liquid gold comes from the sea buckthorn oil in it, which I think is just such a beautiful ingredient. Super moisturizing, very reparative to the skin barrier. This also contains niacinamide, which, like we talked about earlier, is one of my favorite ingredients. And it contains ceramides. So ceramides are actually a component of the skin barrier. So when you supply ceramides to your skin, you're really helping to replenish the skin barrier and keep it healthy. So some other great ingredients in here, I'm gonna quickly read off for you. Rosehip seed oil. I love rosehip seed oil. I use it all the time on my skin, just in its purest form, just cold pressed rosehip seed oil. Beautiful ingredient. This also contains, the sea buckthorn oil that we talked about. This also contains green tea extract, which is such a well-documented, well-researched antioxidant. There's squalane, there's cranberry seed oil. There's so many yummy oils in here that I just really love. This moisturizer definitely surprised surprised me. I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't know I was going to fall in love with it as much as I did. And I think that's like a common theme that you're gonna see in all these products, is that they are multitasking. I have really fallen away from the rhetoric of like, okay, this product contains just this star ingredient, it's going to do this for my skin. I don't have time to sit there and fuss with like 50 different skincare products in one routine. I want my skincare products to be very non-fussy. I want them to be multitasking. So for example, this sunscreen, it's a sunscreen, yeah, it's moisturizing, hell yeah, and it has tons of antioxidants. This rosewater serum, super hydrating, also has antioxidants. This watermelon toner, yep, super hydrating, also has antioxidants, and it does have that very gentle exfoliating acid component to it. The last product that I'm including in my 5 skincare products that I'm keeping, if I had to get rid of my entire collection, which God forbid, is a cleanser. So this is kind of like a routine, because these 5 products, if I could only use these 5 products for the rest of my life, I think I'd be pretty happy, and I think my skin would be pretty happy. So in terms of cleansers, there are so many cleansers that I love, so many. But if we're talking about the cleanser that I have been the most loyal to, the most committed to, it's gotta be this one. So I actually don't talk about the Purity Cleanser by Philosophy very often on my channel, because this is full of essential oils, okay? Before I knew about, you know, how irritating essential oils can be, I bought this and I fell in love with it. It hasn't deterred me from continuing to use it over the years. I bought this in probably 2015 or 2014, and I've repurchased it every single year. And honestly, this is a cleanser that I use on most nights. So yes, it does contain a ton of essential oils. However, it doesn't bother me at all because it's a wash-off product. I don't experience any irritation from it. But that being said, if you do have sensitive skin, I would just err on the side of caution with this one. Probably don't pick this up. This cleanser melts away makeup like no other. Before I discovered, you know, micellar water or cleansing balms or cleansing oils, I literally just used this, and I truly never broke out from wearing makeup and having residual makeup on my skin when I go to bed at night, because this cleanser is so good at removing makeup. So because I didn't have a cleansing balm in my 5 products for today, I opted for this cleanser because it really does remove makeup exceedingly well, and yet it doesn't strip my skin dry, doesn't make me feel irritated. It's super, super gentle, and I find myself reaching for it over and over and over again for the past 5 years. I know some people don't like this, but I personally really love it. Obviously, get a sample for yourself and test it out and see how your skin reacts to it, but I've been loving this since like 2015, and I'm going to continue to use it because it's just really effective on my skin. So I'm gonna turn the challenge around on you guys, and I would love to hear, if you could only keep 5 products in your entire routine, what would they be? I think this challenge is really interesting because it really forces me to kind of evaluate, like, even if I like something, is it something that I like enough to use every single day? I feel like these products definitely represent my skincare philosophy. They contain really effective ingredients, and yet they're really fun to use. They have beautiful packaging. The sensorial experience is very elevated and very just enjoyable, and above all, they all work together really nicely to help hydrate my skin and keep my skin tone even and just make me super glowy and super radiant. So now that you've finished watching this video, I would love for you to go check out Nat's video and go subscribe to her. She is such a sweet human being. I really love her. It will be linked down below in my info box, along with all the products that I talked about in today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and if you subscribed, because I don't know if you noticed, but I'm really close to 10,000 subscribers, and it would be really exciting if I got there by the end of 2020. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching and spending this time with me. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!